TDN listeners and viewers to This Week in Interview. Welcome to tonight's episode of This Week in Interview with your host and guide, Anthony Drago. As usual, I'm super excited to be with you tonight on Wednesday night, the 24th of May. And tonight we are talking to Ronde-Richard. She is from the organization called DAHEI, Dominica Health and Education Institute, and she's going to talk to us about the up and coming expo that they have. Super excited to talk about that tonight. About maybe 6 weeks ago, we did talk to Dr. Pauline Elwin, and she is the marketing director of the organization. And we spoke about it, and we said we would come back closer to the event to remind you that this event was happening. Well, it's happening on the 10th of June. And so my guest tonight on This Weekend Interview is Anne-Marie Ronde-Richard. And I hope you are excited about that as I am, because we watch our folks express themselves and their creativity and their business attitude, okay, aptitude for business. And that is what it's going to be about, giving you the opportunity to display what it is that you have to share and present with our audience. So we'll be right back. Let's just take a quick intro, and when I come back, I'm going to introduce you to my guests. We're going to have this most delightful conversation. Stay tuned. Welcome again, listeners. And of course, it's a pleasure to have you. I want to say a welcome to you, my regular listeners who make me part of your weekly schedule every Wednesday night. I appreciate you so much. We have folks who have been listening to This Week in Interview for the last, I don't know, 7, 8, 9, 10 years. And so I really appreciate that you still come out and you still hang out with us on This Week in Interview. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to that time that we spend together. Those of you in Dominica, RVR Jams Radio, RVR Jams, JAMZ Radio, carries This Week in Interview live on DigiPlay Channel 59. And we also have SBE Radio Online in the Toronto area that carries This Week in Interview live. You may be listening to us on TDN Radio if you're driving or doing some other activity that requires your eyes. We wouldn't want you to be chopping stuff in the kitchen with a knife and trying to look at us and cause an injury. So listen to us on tdnradio.net. You will also be listening to us on tdntv.net, because not everybody does Facebook. And so if you don't do Facebook, you can do tdntv.net. Of course, mentioning Facebook, This Week in Interview has a Facebook page, as well as TDN Radio has a Facebook page. Also, we have a link that can take you to all. When you click that link, it gives you all the options, and you can choose which one that you want. Sam maybe can put that on, because what I want to ask you to do is to invite folks to tune in with you, to come join us, share the link, because we always have this great information on This Week in Interview. You know, one of the most common feedback I get from you listeners, from many of you, you said the information and the topics that you have on This Week in Interview are so interesting and so relevant. I wish we could share it on all the other media, on Q95, on Kyrie, on DBS. We wish more folks could tune in. And so your part in trying to get more folks to tune in is to share the live and share the link. It's on the website. It's Linktree/TDN Network. If you share that link, when you click that link, it takes you to all the various options where you can listen to this week in interview and the other programming on TDN TV, and TDN Radio. So share the link, invite folks to join you as you tune in to this week in interview. If tonight is the first time that you're listening to this week in interview, welcome, welcome. I hope you like what you hear, what you see, so that you too will also come back on Wednesday and become a regular listener. We always try to give you contemporary information, but we give it to you from a different angle, a different perspective, different from what you would get if you were to click your remote or mouse on the internet. We try to bring it from a more personable and a different aspect, a different perspective. And tonight is no exception. You know, for tonight's show, one of the songs that came to mind, because a lot of times we think in music, is the song that says, by the rivers of Babylon we sat and we wept when we remembered Zion. And what I got from that was that even though we are in a foreign land, and you may not be Rasta, and you may not think of America or wherever you are as Babylon, but the point is that you are away from home, but you are never far from home. And you remember home, and one of the things that you do when you remember home is you try to look back and to pull somebody else up by contributing to the well-being of home. And in our case, home is Dominica. Some of you, your home might be Grenada or St. Lucia or St. Vincent or St. Martin. And I'm going to get myself in trouble because I'm going to be calling names and leave out a few countries. Trinidad. We have listeners from all over. And so home might be wherever you are, and you may not be there at the moment for whatever reason you have to leave home. And so you look back and you say, okay, when I was home, these are some of the areas that I know or people may not necessarily be experiencing. You try to contribute to that. You try to ameliorate, you try to make things easier for folks at home. And so my guest tonight took it one step further, and she and some of her colleagues organized themselves into a group called The High, DAHEI, The High. And it stands for Dominica Health and Education Initiative. And what they've been doing and she's going to tell you more about it, but what they've been doing is really reaching back into the community that they came from, because most of them are Dominican, and they reach back into the Dominican community and make contributions in the areas of health and in the area of education. Hence the name Dominica Education, Dominica Education and Health Institute, DEHI, Health and Education. So H becomes before E, Dominica Health and Education Institute. And so one of the co-founders and one of the clear leaders of the organization, Miss Anne-Marie Ronde-Richard, is my guest tonight on this week in interview. And not only is she here to talk about the organization and to make you familiar with the organization so that you too might be able to see that organization as a vehicle where you can contribute, but she's going to tell you about a special activity that they're planning. This year is the 5th year that they're doing it, 5th annual time, 5th time they're doing it. I know COVID has disrupted everything, so there may be years in between that they skipped, but this is the 5th time that they're doing it. And so there's some longevity in there. And I don't want to waste any more time because I know we have a lot to talk about. So let me introduce you to my guest tonight, Miss Anne-Marie Laurent. Anne-Marie Laurent Richards. I'm just going to call you Anne-Marie from now for the rest of the hour, if you don't mind. Welcome to this weekend interview. I should say welcome back to this weekend interview.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be here. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, certainly. I'm excited to have you as well because, a big part of what we do is to try to do our little bit to help those who do the heavy lifting. So the folks do the heavy lifting, and we help them to spread the word and to sensitize and to publicize what they do. And so I know you were here the last time that you were going to do the expo, you and some of your other colleagues. This time you're here flying solo. So welcome back, as I said. Well, let's just start off by just introducing the audience um, to the High. What is the organization? What's the purpose of the organization? What are some of the things that you do, some of the work that you're involved with?
Sure. So first of all, a quick correction, and maybe at some point it will become an institute because you're not the first person who has said that. It's the
Initiative, yeah.
Dominican Health and Education Initiative, but you're not
Yes.
the first person, as I said. A lot of people call it institute, so maybe that's
But,
a sign.
but after how many years, how is it still an initiative,
So
right?
this year, amazingly, is our 10th anniversary. So it's
Mm,
been around.
right.
Um, Hard to believe that, coming from just sitting at my kitchen table with my cousin Farah Laurent Hutchison, who's the co-founder, that we've come this far to 10 years of the organization. So the Dominican Health and Education Initiative, the HIGH, as you said, is a charitable non-for-profit 501c3 organization based in Boston, Massachusetts. And the mission is really to help enhance and build capacity in both the education and health sectors in Dominica, with the ultimate goal of improving outcomes and quality of life for people living on the island, especially people who are less fortunate. So this was the original mission of the High. As I said, it's 10 years now. It was founded in 2013, and so, this year, we aspire to sort of take the organization to the next level, implement new programs, expand on the programs that we have already. Our mentorship program, scholarship program, some of the health initiatives, and ultimately, the hope is that at some point we will even expand beyond Dominica, maybe, supporting programs in some of the other Eastern Caribbean islands. So we have big aspirations. We'll see, where we'll go. We expanded our board this year from we had about 4 members to now 10 members. So we're certainly sort of building internal capacity also to help support the work that we want to do.
Great. 10 years. So congratulations. Congratulations are in
Thank
order.
you.
10 years is no small feat. Um, and although your name says initiative, I think it's beyond initiative now. All right.
Thank you.
Initiative gives the connotation of starting out.
Yeah.
All right. And so, since we're on that point, where do you want to go into a little bit of details as to some of your aspirations for the next 10 years?
For the next 10 years, yeah. So, well, before I go into that, I can tell you a little bit about what we've done, and I'll
Okay,
tell you how we
that's good.
plan to
Mhm.
expand. So as I said, we focus primarily in education and health. On the education side, so we've one of the probably the biggest program we have, and the one that we're most proud of, is our high school scholarship program. This is a program that supports students going from elementary to high school in Dominica. And again, we have students recommended to us by teachers, by the principals. We're looking for students who have basically economic need, right? But also committed to the academics. So it's a 5-year scholarship. It's and it, We did in 2021. It was launched. We had 2 students. Last year we added on 2 students, and we actually have now committed to doing 2 students per year. Um, so right now we have 4 students, and that's really a commitment of 20,000 US dollars for these 4 students for the 5 years of their high school. And as I said, we want to continue expanding and doing 2 students every year. So it will be a commitment. Of course, after 5 years, I think it will balance off because students will graduate from the program. And so as 2 come in, 2 will be graduating. So I think that will sort of balance this off. So this is the scholarship program, and as I said, we'll continue that and expand it. So big thank you to all of our donors and supporters. We've had multiple people who have contributed to this program and who really have helped us to, um, you know, take it off the ground and continue it. Um, the other thing we do is mentor the students. So some of our board members are mentoring the students and really, ensuring their success through their 5 years of high school. But this mentorship program is also one that we want to expand beyond the scholars. So not just mentoring the students who've gotten the high scholarships, but students in Dominica who are seeking mentorship. They have aspirations to go into certain careers. We have people up here, basically all around the world, not just from Dominica, from other islands, Caribbean diaspora, who have skills and expertise in certain areas, and they can provide guidance to the students in the areas that they aspire to go. So we're hoping to expand on that membership, recruit mentors, and be able to provide that support to students in Dominica and ultimately to other islands.
That.
On the health side, I'm sorry, go
Mhm.
ahead.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead.
On the health side, so we've focused primarily on this year we're focusing on expanding our quest for a healthier world, and the goal is really to encourage people to take control of their health, which is the theme of our event this year, right? um, Really empowering them to be a part of the conversation, be an active part of the conversation about their health, not just accept what a physician says to them, but take the time to educate themselves, understand what it takes to be healthy, whether it's from a nutrition perspective, mental, physical perspective, and really, even thinking about, when they're diagnosed with a particular disease, trying to understand where it comes from, right? The genetics, and so part of our goal is to help educate the public, working with some of the organizations back home, trying to deliver education in the diabetes and oncology areas primarily, but hopefully expanding that ultimately. And a big part of that education is also prevention, right? So helping to do early screenings, educating about the value of early screening and prevention of disease, whether it's in the cancer area or diabetes or other indication. Um, and then, one of the things also is really even educating staff, right? To educating them on health literacy principles, right? Being able to deliver information to patients and to anybody in the community, not just the patient, delivering information that is understandable, clear, and actionable, right? If people understand the information that they get, they will act upon it. If they don't, it goes through one ear and out the other. So we've worked, with the oncology department, helping to train some of the nurses. We want to expand that program, both from an education perspective, but also in terms of diagnostic equipment. Um, so, these are some of the things we've been doing in the health area. Last year in November, we had our first walk for it's the first global walk for better health. We had walks in both New Mexico, Albuquerque, and in Massachusetts. And this year we want to expand that. It's going to be in September this year. I'll talk a little bit more about that. But the goal of that, again, is to really help people understand the value of taking care of themselves. And so that's the mission of the walk. Last year's funds went towards the Diabetes Association in Dominica. We just actually made a big donation. They will be doing a ceremony soon to distribute some of the equipment that we sent. But the goal was really to help them expand into different locations across the island. So they want to put satellite sites in different villages throughout the island to support patients with diabetes. So um, that's about where we are with the in the health area.
You said that is about where you are. That's quite a bit. That
Well,
that is
there's so much more we want to do, right? But
yeah.
there's a lot
Okay.
involved, and also partnering with folks at home, making sure we're delivering what's needed and filling the gaps and not duplicating efforts. And so it's planning and a lot to
Yeah,
execute.
that's just kind of what came to my mind. But I hear you say that you partner with different organizations because so many times, sometimes you work in a place and they're getting rid of beds or wheelchairs, and you say, "Oh, I can send that
Mhm.
to Dominica." You get a container, you send it down. and it goes into a storeroom somewhere and it never gets used.
Absolutely. Yep.
So I'm very happy to hear you say that you coordinate with folks back home so that you know what you are working on is what they are informing you as the
Yeah.
need on the ground. So that's important. We will repeat it as much as we can during the hour, but you've given so much information about what you do that I think now is appropriate time to do it the first time, to tell folks who want to support you, your efforts, and to know more about you, how they can go about doing that.
Absolutely. So one way is to support the programs that we're executing on. If you go on the website, it's thehigh.org, thehigh.org. You will see, actually, if you go on our mission, and I'm forgetting the titles on the on the page, but you'll see it, what we
Mm-hmm.
do. Um, Really, you can see a list of all of the activities, and you can pick an activity to support, whether it's the scholarship program or equipment, school supplies, whatever the case might be. Um, the other way you can support is become a member of the High. As I said, this the type of work we do, it's a lot of work. We all have our day jobs, so this is obviously side jobs for us, right?
Mm-hmm. Labor
It
of
cannot
love.
be done even by 10 people,
Mm-hmm.
right? We've expanded our board, but there's always more need for different expertise, different, skills, ideas. The more people we have, the more ideas that come up, right? We don't have all the ideas. Um, and so we're looking for help. So you can become a member of the High, again, on the website under membership. So you can go under community and members. There's a form there that you can fill out to become a member of the High. And in fact, tonight, we're doing a special promotion where we will give complimentary tickets to the event in June, if you become a member of the High tonight. It's free of charge. Membership is free, but if you join, you get several benefits, including discounts to our events. If you have a small business, you can get it highlighted on our webpage. Um, you can see a list of all the membership perks on the site. But if you become a member tonight, you will get a complimentary ticket to the event.
Right, and it's the high DAHEI
Dahei.org,
dot
dahei.org.
the high.org. So folks,
And
make sure you support them. You hear all the good work that they're doing. $20,000 worth of scholarships, and it's ongoing. I mean, that is a tremendous heavy lift. As I said, our part that we do at CDN is to help you broadcast it. That's the light part. The heavy part is all of that work. And you said that on the health front, you will do a lot of work on diabetes, because we know that is really, really critical. A lot of our folks. Um, I don't remember the source right now, but I remember listening to a program that they had, and it was saying that, or it was something out of Barbados. They were saying that the data shows that the majority of deaths that happen in the region are the result of some complication of diabetes
diabetes.
or hypertension. And so that work is extremely critical, extremely crucial.
Yep,
You know,
yep.
yeah, and so very good job in putting your finger right on the pulse of,
Yeah, and so diabetes is actually the majority of people with diabetes don't die from diabetes. They die from heart
right,
failure, cardiovascular disease, right? It's so closely
right.
related to all of, the number of comorbidities that are associated with diabetes, chronic kidney disease, heart failure, and these are the things that people die from and not the diabetes itself.
Itself, right? Yeah.
But people need to
People,
be educated about those consequences because they're thinking, I have diabetes, there's no big deal, right? But it's what else you can get downstream,
right.
that you need to be concerned about.
You lose your limbs, you
Hmm.
lose your eyesight,
Exactly.
and as you said, it starts affecting your heart and your blood circulation, so you die from that hypertension, all the other things associated with it.
Hmm.
And so as I was saying, is you put your finger right on the pulse of where it hurts. Um, Last year for Cancer Month, I had the oncologist. She had just left Dominica because she's now stationed in St. Lucia, but she was
Hmm.
the oncologist in Dominica for a while.
Dr. Mata.
Yes, and the and Miss Alexander,
Hmm.
she leads the Dominica Cancer
Cancer
Society.
Society.
Yeah, and they were saying that there wasn't a functional breast screening machine at the main hospital. And I heard you talk about focusing on equipment.
Hmm.
And so folks, those things are so important. 'Cause it's literally the difference between dying from breast cancer or surviving breast cancer. If you have the equipment where you can do the screen in the mammogram machine, you can screen early enough and catch it early enough. So
Hmm.
so support the high because they're doing good work and there's so much more that they can do if you join them. Both in terms of your sweat equity, you can participate, and you can also support them
Donate.
with dollars. Yeah, support them with dollars. Let's do some of that, because too many times we stand aside and think that somebody else is doing it, so you don't have to do it. You have to do the opposite. You have to assume that nobody else is, or enough people are doing it, so you can jump in and do the little bit that belongs to you. Uh, I know we're at 8:30, so we're pushing on a break. But before I go to the break, let's introduce what we're really here to do, and then when we come back, we can go into a lot of details, right?
Okay.
Because the high is hosting your fifth annual expo, and it's called the
Caribbean Culture
cultural. Go
Cuisine.
ahead. Mhm.
Caribbean Culture Cuisine and Art Expo.
Caribbean Culture Cuisine and Art Expo. Let's tell people what that is.
Yeah, so it's basically an opportunity to educate, an opportunity for Caribbean nationals to showcase their talent, their expertise, their culture, their business, if they have a small business that they'd like to showcase. And so the format is typically we have a number of speakers, and this year we have a number of distinguished speakers from the Caribbean. Our keynote speaker is from Barbados. We have three speakers from St. Lucia, Dominica, and Jamaica. And then we have an expo. And within the expo, it's actually Caribbean nationals, not Dominican nationals, again, showcasing whether it's artwork, writings. So we have authors, we have artists. It could be singing. I mean, we have a host of things, but we're still looking for more exhibitors. And
Hmm.
so it could be any of these things that you want to showcase and share your talent. It could be hair products, it could be jewelry, in any format. If you make cakes, catering, and it's really showcasing your product or your business. So people will have an opportunity to visit the expos, learn about your products. If you sell products online, you can highlight all of these, your websites, your social media pages, so people can go ahead and buy. Um, and so if you go to actually, what I'll do is post the link to the expo site. Um, or the event site, and you can check it out. And as I said, tonight,
It's scrolling across the screen right now as
oh,
we speak.
perfect,
Yeah.
perfect. But I don't know if people can click on that. So maybe in the chat might be better. But
Hmm. Hmm.
but anyway, so the event
Sam
is
will
on
put it in
June
both
10th.
places. Mhm.
I'm sorry.
I said Sam will put it in both places. I
Oh,
will
okay,
scroll and put it in the chat as well.
okay. So as I said, the event is on June 10th. It's from 10 to 2 Eastern time. So it's for 4 hours. And as I said, with the series of speakers and then some performances in the middle, and then time for the expo booth. And the theme for today, for the event is take control of your health. And again, as I said, it's empowering people to be a part of that conversation about their health. It's educational, it's empowering. Uh, so, you know, join us. Join us. I think you will be motivated. I think, again, you have the opportunity to showcase your talent or your skills. So you can
Hmm.
join as an exhibitor. You can email us at aiddominica@gmail.com if you'd like to be an exhibitor, and we'll send you instructions.
Say it
Or you
again.
can join as, I'm
Say the
sorry,
link
Anthony, go
again. Say the link again. You said it kind of quickly.
It's aid, that's our email address, aid
Okay.
dominica, AID Dominica
Hmm.
at gmail.com.
Okay.
So if you'd like to be an exhibitor at the event, you can email us and we'll send you further instructions. If you'd like to just be an attendee, you would basically click on the link that would be posted in the chat, and it takes you to the Hopin platform, which is where the event is being hosted, and you would basically just register there. Registration is $20. There's also a $50 VIP ticket, which allows you to get on stage and ask questions of the speakers. So you have that special opportunity with the VIP, and of course, it's also supporting the High's mission. But again, if you join or become a member of the High tonight, we will send you a complimentary ticket that's free of charge. So you get a VIP free ticket. So become a member,
well,
thehigh.org.
Let's take a quick break, Anne-Marie.
Okay.
And when we come back, folks are going to get a lot more information about the expo, and you're going to learn about the technology that's being used to bring expo to you right in the comfort of your home, or if you get in together and watch it together in the comfort of your company. Quick break, get a word from our sponsors. When we come back, we'll continue our conversation with Miss Anne-Marie Ronde-Richard, who is, what exactly is your title? You're the president, or you just say co-founder?
Co-founder.
You're just the co-founder of the High, a Dominica Health and Education Initiative. She's been telling us about all the wonderful work that they do. I sat there listening in awe that they are accomplishing the amount of work and results that she has listed. And so we implore you to learn more about them, to join them, to support them. But quick break, and we'll be back right after.
Presented by.
People say I've got a great smile. Well, I have to say, this is all thanks to the professional team at Beacon Dental Group right here in Dorchester, Massachusetts. I've got world-class dental care. Beacon Dental Group has expert and caring staff dedicated to providing the most advanced and satisfactory treatment in all aspects of oral health. Their services are designed to meet your needs and give you a perfect smile, too. General checkups, cosmetic surgery, Gemini laser service, and advanced procedures, all in a state-of-the-art facility. Call or visit Beacon Dental Group today, 1026 Blue Hill Avenue, Dorchester, Massachusetts, or call 617-282-2146 for a smile that lights the world.
If you live in Canada, the US, and the UK and are looking for Dominica products including cocoa sticks, bay rum, coffee, soaps, crafts, and other popular Dominica items, then look no further. You can now shop on BuyDominicaOnline.com, a secure, easy-to-navigate website selling a wide variety of Dominica-made and Dominica-inspired products. When you shop on BuyDominicaOnline.com, you are helping to grow Dominica's economy. Go to BuyDominicaOnline.com and enjoy home away from home.
Looking to promote your business, engage current customers, and reach new people? Well, look no further. From the basic presentation to a fully fledged advertisement, use your video ads to attract customers. At Man's Audiovisual Productions, we do just that. We produce videos for business and event promotions, product demo videos, animated explainer videos, fundraiser ads, and much, much more. Engage your clients and sell online. We customize the video to match your brand design. Guaranteed to play flawless on all devices, including smart TVs. Contact us at telephone number 203-690-4342 or 767-245-6238. Visit our website, mansaudiovisual.com, or email us at derekvideo@gmail.com.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you so much to our sponsors. We always appreciate the effort that you put to help us do what we do and to keep these mics live and keep the lights on at TDN Media. As I mentioned last week, one of our main sponsors, our longtime sponsor, Beacon Dental Health, the co-owner of that establishment, Dr. Joseph. She suffered a very devastating medical event. I guess simple words you can call it a stroke, almost a year ago, and she's still in recovery. It's been a long road, and when you have medical events that major, they result in a lot of resources being expended. And so her family started a GoFundMe page because there were so many people whose lives she touched, both she and her husband, corporate, and their kids who work at Beacon Dental Health. And so folks who wanted to help and contribute towards her recovery, there's a GoFundMe page. If you go on there and you search for Dr. Joseph Health Recovery, you should find it. I try to post it as well in my group chat where I send out my flyers to you. It's on there. It's on the screen right now. I implore you to support them because they do support quite a bit of community activity. And right now, they're in need, and we would love to see Dr. Joseph come back with that beautiful smile that she had. So we wish the family all the best and always have them in our thoughts. Also, Man's Audiovisual, all of those great flyers that I do, done by Man, so Audiovisual. Check them out. They do flyers. They can come and do your full video production of your wedding, your funeral, your graduations, any of those events that you have. They have the expertise to give you a very good, satisfactory service. And of course, buy Dominic online. Buy your gifts there to give to your loved one. All right. So, folks, my guest tonight on this weekend interview is Ms. Anne-Marie Ronde-Richard, and she is the co-founder of The High. The High is an organization, as she explained to us, that a group of like-minded folks who out away from home but haven't forgotten home, and who are looking for ways in which they can contribute. And they've done so significantly. She's told us about the scholarships that they give, full sponsorship, full scholarship to a young person, two young people right now, from first form to fifth form, their entire support, uniform, books, tuition, transportation, I guess maybe even meals, to the tune of $20,000 US for those students. They do good work. Mentorship. I remember TDN carried an event live a few years ago, Saturday, where they had a group of young people doing scientific experiments and getting immersed in STEM and the sciences and so on. Practical stuff. And she spoke about their initiative. They just made a huge donation in the area of diabetes in Africa. And so they do good work. And so I encourage you to join them. Go to their website, thehai.org, DAHEI.org. Find out more about them, but participate, register. Donate if you're far away or you're busy, donate some funds. No amount is too little, and no amount is too much. Give to where it's just painful for you, and then you feel satisfied that you supported. And so, Anne-Marie, we were telling us about the exposition that you have, the 5th annual Caribbean Cultural Cuisine and Art Exposition, and where folks can come and display their products, their services, whatever it is that they want to share and offer to the public. They're given the opportunity to do so, and it is done virtually. Tell us about the technology, because maybe folks don't really understand how you have a virtual expo. Yeah. The details of the technology that allows it to happen.
So the platform that we use for the event is called Hopin, Hopin. And basically, it's a virtual platform that allows you to really sort of simulate the in-person events. So there's a stage, there are expo booths, there you can go backstage. I mean, it's much higher technology than Zoom and some of the other platforms. And so there will be a main stage where people will, when you enter the event, you can click on the stage, and that's where all of the speakers would be presenting. But then there will be there we have two segments where it's the expo segments where people can click on the expo, and you go in and there will be a list of booths basically, and you would click on the booth that you want to. So there will be, you know, a title. You can see a short video of the person who's presenting at that booth, 1 to 2 minute video just giving you a little bit of information about the booth. You can click on that booth and actually get in, and you can communicate with the person in the booth through text, or there's actually a capability where you can go backstage with the person and communicate one-on-one. Each of the booths will be equipped with, you know, pictures, so photographs, videos, you know, etc., of the person's, you know, whether it's a product or artwork, whatever it is that they're displaying. As I said, videos of the person. And so you can view all of those. There will be links if they're selling their products on a particular social media platform. There'll be links to that. You can click on it to purchase products. And so it's, you know, it's actually a pretty high tech platform, and I really like it. It really, as I said, simulates the real in person. Nothing beats in person. We actually missed that, and so we're hoping next year. So this is the second year we're doing virtual. It was typically in person, but again, with in person, we were only getting people from Massachusetts. It was held in Massachusetts. We had a few people come from New York, but it was typically, you know, Massachusetts residents. Last year, for the first year, we went online. We had a couple of people from Spain. We had people from the UK. We had people from Canada, from all of the islands. And so this year, you know, people actually said, "Why aren't you doing it in person?" But after last year's experience, we said, we can't cut off all these people that were from all around the world, you know. And so we were hoping to do something hybrid, but the hybrid is pretty complicated. It's hard to be able to manage what's going on in the room and online. We would need a lot more staff and people to sort of man the event. And so we decided to just go virtual again this year. But hopefully next year we'll try hybrid. Yeah.
But I can see how
nothing beats in person.
I can see how the technology, it doesn't have the touch and feel of in person. You can't hold the product in your hand and smell it and taste it. But I can see how the virtual also enhances participation.
Absolutely.
Because you can see somebody's product, you can see the ingredients, you can Google the ingredients, you can have that even more intimate interaction. Funny, I'm using the word intimate when it's virtual, but really and truly, you can you can really ask you the questions. You can come back. You can interact. So, folks, I encourage you though to really go just for the experience, if nothing else, to experience that technology, that hopping technology. And I'm sure once you get in, you realize, it's really educational and so on, and you will enjoy it. Let's talk about your speaker, your featured speaker, your keynote speaker, as well as the other presenters.
Yep. So the keynote speaker is Dr. Jenny Ward Robinson. She is the CEO of the Society to Improve Diagnosis in Medicine. And so she's focused on tackling all errors of diagnosis, misdiagnosis, delayed diagnosis, you know, just any type of misdiagnosis, error of diagnosis. And so she will be speaking as the keynote. We have Dr. Tanya Bobran, who is from St. Lucia. She is a family physician, also specializing in functional and integrative medicine. And she's also a certified life wellness coach, wellness empowerment coach. We have Jasmine Carbon. Jasmine is actually Dominican who resides in the UK. She's a nutritionist, registered dietitian, um, and her goal is really sort of raising awareness on the importance of improving well-being through your diet, right? And she specifically talks about the Caribbean diet. So how can you cook your own Caribbean style with your Caribbean flavors, but in a healthy way, right? So that one I think people will really enjoy too. Everybody loves food, and
And our
being
Caribbean
able to
food.
keep the flavor, your
Yeah.
Caribbean, flavor, but doing it in a healthy way, I think is going to be really amazing. And then lastly, we have Dr. Olive Pert, who is a radiologist from Jamaica. So she's going to talk about mammography and sort of women's access to mammograms and breast health and that sort of thing. So these
Screening.
are our four speakers. And then, as I said, we have a host of exhibitors, some of whom you probably know. I know some of them have been on your show: Rosalind Savre, McLean. We have
Yep.
Annette Phillip. We have Raisha Felix. I don't know if you know Raisha. So, as I said, artwork. We have authors. Uh, I'm blanking out on all the skills we have.
Mhm.
Chef.
Yeah.
But again, if you have any, and there's no limit, right? So if you have any type of talent, skill, business product that you'd like to display and you'd like to get a booth, as I said, email us at 8dominica@gmail.com and we can guide you through the process. And the booths that we actually have a team that's setting up the booths. So you
Mhm.
would basically just, provide us with all of the content for your booth and they would set
Right.
it
Your
up for you.
photographs, your video
Exactly.
information about your product and so on. And they
Hmm.
will organize. So you don't have
They
to be
will
techie,
organize it.
right? You don't have to know anything about the technical aspect of it. All you have
Exactly.
is the normal stuff as if you were showing up at an expo. You have some flyers if you have flyers, you have some posters, you have photographs, you have videos, whatever it is that you would bring to an expo, and you would supply that, and folks would organize it for you, and then you would show up. And so what I'm hearing is that it is not too late for people to participate,
So the
to
end
come
of the
to
month is
participate.
the deadline for booths because of course it takes time to set up the booths.
Right.
So you have a few days if you'd like to be an exhibitor to provide all of the materials for your booth, and we would get it set up.
You have 7 days. So next week Wednesday on this weekend interview, when I say, did you remember to register? You have to send an email and see if they will reopen it for you for an hour so you can register. So, so don't put yourself in that boat.
Yeah.
Register before that date, because
And
go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Now, I was going to say you heard the lineup, people from all over the world participate. So this is the opportunity for you to put your product in front of a wider audience, not just a Dominican audience. You hear they didn't go light; they went very heavy on the guest speakers, Dr. Ward and Dr. By and so the information that they will give will be extremely important. I remember one doctor who was saying that one of the reasons Caribbean people in America, North America, and the UK seem to suffer from some of these diseases is because we kept our style of eating when we were in the Caribbean, but our life is more sedentary. And so that took my interest quite a bit when I heard you say that you have a speaker who's going to say,
Mhm.
okay, you can keep eating what you used to, but how you can tweak it to make
Yep.
sure that it's adjusted to your new lifestyle and keeps you healthy.
Exactly.
So yeah, so folks, I encourage you to participate. Um, I know you said you wanted to briefly mention your global walk. So
Oh,
before we
before
run
the
on,
global walk, I'll
oh,
just
there's a
mention again for those who just joined that we do have a special tonight.
right.
If you become a member of the High tonight, you will get a complimentary ticket to the event. And you become a member by going onto the website, thehigh.org. You click on community and members, and then there's a form that you would fill out and basically become a member of the High. And there's several perks to becoming to being a member. You get discounts for any of our events, you will get a copy of our newsletter. If you have a small business, we can highlight your business on our website, and those sorts of perks.
Plus,
So
you get satisfaction of contribution, being
exactly.
with an organization that is positive and getting things done. Because so many times you get into an organization and folks talk and they talk and they talk, and they hardly get anything actually done. This is an organization that actually has results. So you will get that satisfaction of not wasting your time, being with an organization of positive people that make a plan and execute their plan. And with all of the work that they do and all of the scholarships and all that, your subscription for membership is what, $1,000 a year?
Oh, it's free for
It's
membership.
free.
The
It's
membership is
free.
free.
There's no subscription. It doesn't.
Yeah.
So it doesn't get. It doesn't get. It gets better because you get to participate in all of these activities. You get to be part, to associate with really positive people, get results, and they don't charge you for being part of it. Your contribution is actually the work that you do, and so there's no subscription. So I encourage you to go to the website dahei.org and fill out the application form. And if not, send them an email, aiddominica@gmail.com, and they will guide you through the process. But I hope that folks really take us seriously and participate.
Yep.
Plus, you said if you sign up for the membership, you get your fee
Free
to
ticket.
participate waived, right?
You get a free ticket to the event.
To the event as an exhibit, as a vendor.
As an attendee. But the event booths are free too, so you could be an exhibitor also. Either one. The booths are
Okay, so
free.
the booths are free, but
The
the
booths
folks
are
who
free. Registration is $20, but you get
okay,
free registration
you get free registration. Okay,
if you register if you become a member today.
right. And
And
folks who
then on
just
the walk, I'm sorry.
hold on, folks who just want to come on the 10th. It's a Saturday, right? Folks who just want to come
It's a Saturday.
and view the exhibits and interact with the exhibitors. That is free, or that is the ticket you're talking about?
It's a $20 ticket, but it would be
$20
free if you
ticket
become a member.
if you become a member. Okay.
Yeah.
So folks, don't look at it as a fee to attend. Look at it as your contribution towards all of this great work that the High is doing. Participate in the expo. I see there was a question up on the screen. Someone asking, I think, how you purchase products for Virtual Expo. Yeah, how would the sale be made through Virtual Expo?
So you would have to provide your social, whether it's on Facebook or whatever platform you sell your product on, you provide a link to that. So there's no e-commerce on that platform. So you'd be directing people to your social media platforms where you sell your
Right, they
product.
can place the order for sure.
Yeah.
Or while you interact with the exhibitor, you say, "Oh, this is my contact information. I would like."
Yeah, exactly. You can
X,
leave.
Y, and
Actually,
Z. You can
there
do
is
that.
an opportunity to leave an email, and the exhibitor will get back to you.
Get back to you. So there are ways in which you can get the product if you want the product. All right, let's talk about the global walk for
Yeah,
better.
so the global walk, so as I said, last year was the first time we did it in November. It's called the Global Walk for Better Health. Last year, the funds went to diabetes, so the Diabetes Association in Dominica. So this year we're going to do it in September because it turned out last year was cold in November. We were trying to align it with Diabetes Awareness Month, which is in November, but that was kind of cold. So we decided this year we'll bring it up to September, but we will still be partnering with the Dominica Diabetes Association. And so the walk is, there's no limit to the number of miles. What we're doing is, and that's why it's called the Global Walk, we're looking for people to form teams wherever they are. So there might be one in Connecticut, one in Massachusetts, one in Dominica, in St. Lucia. Wherever you are, you create a team, and then we would connect on social media while we walk. And so we're asking people to be team leaders, to set up a team wherever they are. Last year, as I said, it was the first time we only had 2 teams. We had a team in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and a team in Massachusetts. There was supposed to be a team in Dominica with the Dominica Diabetes Association, but it was election time and it was a bit chaotic. So they decided not to do to have a team. But this year for sure they will have a team in Dominica.
In Dominica.
And we're hoping in some of the other islands. So join us, email us at 8dominica@gmail.com if you'd like to be a team leader or start a team, in your neighborhood, wherever you are. And then we go from there. So it will be in September this year.
It will be in September this year. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, keep reaching out to us, and we will keep publicizing it and encouraging people to participate. So you do it like a belle marché where people get sponsored?
Pretty much. It is a belle marché.
Okay. So people get sponsored, say, okay, are we going to walk? Can you sponsor me $1 a mile? And we walk 10 miles to $10 from 100 people. It's $1,000. That kind of thing. Spread it around your coworkers. Get sponsorship and really support folks where it makes a difference right down at the grassroots level. And so, Anne-Marie, we are smack at the end of the hour. It flew by, but you did give us a lot of information. There's so many things that you're involved with. One of the areas that we really want to highlight is that you said that you are a 501c3 organization, which means that any contribution, any donations that's made to the high is a tax deductible.
Tax deduction, exactly.
Tax deductible contribution. Plus, you know that they're very organized because as a 501c3 organization, they have to have all their records and all their stuff in order. So you can contribute and support with a high degree of confidence that your contribution will go to what they say it's going to go, because they have to do all their reports and all their stuff. They get involved in providing scholarships, they do mentorship. So if you have an expertise in a certain field, reach out to them. They might be able to hook you up with a couple of the kids who might be aspiring to be an engineer, aspiring to be a nurse, aspiring to be a doctor, or just need some help to get them encouragement in maths or English or poetry or whatever. Reach out to them. The healthcare initiative is off the chat. They have, the opportunity for you to become a member of the high. So I'm going to let you do some closing remarks. Talk about the expo, talk about the high, talk about whatever it is that you maybe had planned to say that I didn't get a chance to ask you. Just give some closing remarks.
Yeah, no, I think we covered everything. I actually, what I'd like to do is thank you for the opportunity to come on and talk about the high and raise awareness for the organization and the work that we do in Dominica. We are always looking for new members, new expertise. We're looking for mentors, as you just mentioned, and because we really want to expand the mentorship program to students beyond the ones who get scholarships from the high. And so please email us, become a member of the high by filling out that membership form on the website, thehigh.org. And just, it's not work that we can do alone. There's so much that needs to be done, building capacity in Dominica, and it's for the benefit of all of our families. Even if we're not in Dominica, we have family, we have friends in Dominica, and we're all, in different parts of the world. We have different expertise, different skills, different networks, and ways that we can assist. And I think if we come together, we can really make a big impact to improve health, improve education, improve outcomes for people living on the island who are less fortunate.
Well, certainly. So thank you so much for taking the time to come spend with us. I wish you all the best on the expo. It's on June 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And I'll mention one more thing, Anthony, just one more
ahead.
thing I'll mention for people. I don't know if you have people calling in from the islands, from Dominica. We're always looking also to understand where the gaps are. And so if there is, a need somewhere that we're not aware of that you'd like to bring to our attention, again, you can email us at thehigh.org and just let us know what it is. So we're looking for that type of support too.
Yes, to be able to help you to identify areas where you can also additional areas, like you're not doing enough. So you want to get ideas for additional areas where they can.
Complementary ones, right? And also, I mean, it might be the case where somebody wants to execute on something. So it might not be us
Right,
doing the work. It might be
right.
something that they're trying to do that will benefit the community and we can support them.
We can support and facilitate them. That is true. That is very true. And it's in both in the field of health and education because your
Hmm.
focus is on both of them. All right. So thank you so much for coming. I wish you all the best, folks.
Thank you.
Participate, attend the expo. It's on June the 10th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. And if you provide a service, if you have a hobby, if you have a business, um, contact them so you can get a booth. It's virtual, so it gives you access no matter where you are. If you are in Dominica, if you're in St. Lucia, if you're in Grenada, if you're in New York, Toronto, London, Castries, Pointe-à-Pitre, wherever it is that you have
Yeah.
access to that global audience because you understand that she said that last year they had exhibitors from Spain, from the UK, from all over the world. So this is the opportunity to put your product out there, to put yourself out there. And it's also the opportunity to listen to some very informative information from well qualified, very, very well qualified persons. Some is saying, thanks Anne Marie and the Hive for consistent dedication and for great event. Looking forward
Thank
to it.
you.
The folks are really appreciative. Couple Jovi say hello, Uncle Tony and Dr. Anne Marie. Good initiative. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And so, the message is there, we will spread it. And I wish you all the best on the fifth annual uh, Caribbean
Caribbean Caribbean Culture, Cuisine, and Art
Culture,
Expo.
Cuisine, and Art Expo. I will tell you, you're very welcome to come back to talk about the global walk and see how we can assist in mobilizing folks to participate. So keep that in
Thank
mind.
you.
All right.
Awesome.
And all the best. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everyone.
All right. So Didi saying great initiative. Thanks for the ongoing effort to help make a difference in the lives of so many. Yeah, so all of the support is pouring in. And folks, so keep it alive. Marceline is
Appreciate
saying
it.
indeed a great initiative for the betterment of our people. Margot says, thank you, Anthony. Positive vibes. Much success to your initiative. So the folks
Thank
are
you. Thank
supporting,
you.
and I encourage you to go on the website, spread the word though.
Become a
Post it,
member.
become a member, and post their work on your social media. Send it out to your WhatsApp contact, put it on your Facebook page. Let people be aware of all of what they're doing, so that in the 10 years that's coming up, they can double and triple the contribution that they make. One of the things that we always used to experience that there were a lot of persons from Dominica who had expertise in particular areas, and they would lament that they would go to Dominica and offer their services, and somehow the authorities did not seem to be able to organize and coordinate so that they could make the contribution that they're able to make. Organizations like the High is providing that opportunity outside of the government realm where
And
where where you can
you will
contribute.
always find that, Anthony, but that should not be a showstopper. There will always
Exactly.
be resistance. There's ways to get around it. You're trying to serve the
Exactly.
people, right? And so if the government is not, willing to accept your help, you go through the non-governmental
Exactly.
organizations,
And
or you
it's
go
not it's not
directly to the people.
and it's not even the current government. This complaint has been an internal complaint through the Freedom Party, through the United Workers Party, through the Labour Party. People always say, I went to Dominica and I offered my services. There's so much red tape or so much nobody responded to me and I can't contribute, I'm not able to contribute. Organizations like the High takes that excuse away. They give you the opportunity to be able to contribute, to be a mentor, to be a contributor, to be a
Mhm.
participant. So take advantage of it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and there's a
So
lot we can do to serve the public without, you know, going through all of the politics. Being a mentor,
exactly.
you have a relationship with a student, you're providing them with support and guidance. It has nothing to do with the government, right? So there's a lot we
Exactly.
can do outside of that.
outside of that. There's
Yeah.
ways around. Okay. So again, full continued strength and blessings to continue to
Thank you.
contribute, and I wish you all the support. Encourage folks to support. Folks, let's show them our appreciation by contributing something to what they do, contributing our effort, contributing our hands, our hearts, our minds. This was a really wonderful program. It shows folks who have done well, doing good. You know, you've done well in your career, you've done well otherwise, and so you're doing good to give back and to reach back. As I said when we started the program, I was thinking about it, that song by the Rivers of Babylon, where we sat down and remembered Zion being our home, related in that sense. And so you have the opportunity to contribute. All right, so I want to tell you have a good evening. Enjoy the remainder of your week. This weekend is Memorial Day weekend. So if you in Atlanta, you know, play your mass, but play it safely. You know, all success in what you do. If you are getting a chance to get an extra day off, enjoy that too. Just before coming on, we heard of the passing of Tina Turner, an icon in entertainment. And so if you are a fan, if you happen to be family, accept our condolences. And it just shows that you have to do what you have to do while you can do it, so that when you are no longer walking this earth, folks will remember you, you will live on, you'll continue to live on in the good work that you do, including the support for the people at the high. So good night, folks. We'll do this again next week, Wednesday. On tap, we have, or I guess next week will be, I think he's the chairman or the president of the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, DIC, Mr. Hilaire. He's going to join us and talk about doing business in Dominica, the challenges, the opportunities, you know, the contributions of organizations like the Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce. So make sure you put in your calendar to join us again when we come back next week. Good night, everyone. Have a great night and the remainder of your week.